The step-up command. Once your bird has learned how to eat out of your hand, he may step onto your hand without you having to doing anything else. Even if your bird does this, it's time to teach him per the step-up cue. For birds that bite, move your finger or the palm of your hand in a steady, rather quick upward motion forward towards your bird's lower body, right above its legs. Try to imagine that his upper legs are invisible and you are going to move your hand right through thin air. The motion is exactly like the way you move your hand through a lit candle flame. Don't pull your hand back or stop, giving the bird a chance to bite. The idea is that your hand should be quicker than the bird's eye. As soon as she steps up, reward him with a favorite treat and verbal praise. If your bird is not responding to this technique and is getting even aggressive, stop and try again the next day. If you continue, you will make this a confrontational issue, causing your bird to bite. Other methods. Instead of moving your hand quickly, slowly move your finger or the palm of your hand towards the top of your bird's legs right below the abdomen. Apply gentle pressure to the top of the legs in a slightly upward motion towards his body. This should get him to step up onto your hand. Reward him immediately with a favorite treat and verbal praise. Some biters and non-biters may respond better by learning to step up onto a perch or ladder instead of your hand. You would move a perch or ladder the same way as you would move your hand. This is called stick taming or training. This may help with birds who are afraid of hands. If your bird is cage-bound, get his wings trimmed and leave the cage door open. Keep a toy box and a fresh dish of pellets on top of the cage. Eventually your bird will come out of the cage all by himself. When he does, praise and reward him with seeds or a favorite treat. You can start teaching him the step-up command from the top of his cage. After a few days of practice, take him into a different room away from his cage and practice stepping up as described below. Reward your bird with a treat and verbal praise consistently, each time she steps up for you. Use a cue word, such as step up, hop or jump when moving your hand towards your bird for stepping up. Cockatiels can learn to associate words with an action or object, and your cue word will tell your bird exactly why your hand is moving towards him and that a treat and verbal praise will be available for him immediately after she steps up. If your cockatiel starts biting while teaching him to step up, try to ignore it, but if the biting becomes very aggressive, then stop and don't force the matter, creating a confrontational situation. Tell him that you love him and that you'll try again tomorrow. If you do succeed in getting your cockatiel out of the cage and onto your hand, praise him and offer him a treat as a reward. Your bird will need to practice stepping up for a few days. It's usually easier to practice in neutral territory. In a room away from the cage and from the back of a kitchen chair or a bird play gym. Have your bird step up from the back of a kitchen chair, onto your hand, then back to the chair. Keep taming sessions short, about 5 minutes, but have several sessions throughout the day. Too much repetition in a single session can cause your bird to lose interest in what you are trying to teach him. Coming out of the cage several times a day to practice will give your bird more frequent opportunities to practice and be successful for stepping up to be reinforced. Giving your bird attention of the cage several times a day also helps to break up boredom and prevents both you and your bird from becoming frustrated.